Welcome to Casual Wednesdays on Fish Tuxedo. I am Jonathan. I am joined by Mike Feyrer, the other half of Fish Tuxedo.
Hell yeah.
He's here.
Back in it again, baby. Oh,
and we're back for our now monthly, supposedly bi-weekly show where we talk about video games we've been playing and some news that we want to talk about. But since it's been a while, we've both played a few things. Why don't you kick us off with some iPhone 6 Plus action?
Sure, yeah. One thing, I guess, that's pretty important is actually just a week ago, I got an iPhone 6 Plus. Not because I was really itching for a new iPhone, to be honest, but actually because it was cheaper. Buying a new phone and having unlimited data, texting, and calling was cheaper on Sprint than 3 gigs and no texting on AT&T on my iPhone 5S. So, yeah, easy call there.
Might as well, huh?
Yeah, so I threw in a new phone with the deal. So I got a 6 Plus because I'm a man who likes it big. My phones, that is. So, got the
Just
bigger
phones.
phone. Yeah, mostly phones. You know.
Mostly.
But it's nice. I got used to it really quickly, and I've been playing some games on it, mostly Crossy Road. Have you played Crossy Road?
So, I similarly just purchased an iOS device. I was iPad-less for about 6 months, and I picked one up off Craigslist a couple days ago. And since then, I have played Crossy Road.
Yeah.
And guess what? That game's not for me.
No?
No, man. I don't know.
Oh.
Like, it's just... I don't know. I think we're looking for different things when we're playing that sort of stuff. I don't know. It's weird. I think it comes down to just how I play games in a weird way. Like, I'm not a big skill guy. Like, I don't want to exert skill on a thing.
Did you just iPhone break up with me?
Yeah.
Like, we just look for different things in our phones, you know?
Yeah.
Skill, you know? No, I guess so. I mean, I liked it. I first heard about it on Idle Thumbs. They were talking about Crossy Road.
Yeah.
And I thought it sounded really stupid. And then I got this new phone, and I was like, well, let's see what things look like. And it was like number, in the top 3 on the iTunes store. So I just downloaded it and started playing it. And I play it for like a minute or two every day since I got it. I'm at 198, which isn't that great.
I played it once. I should probably give it more of a chance, but I think I got like a 60 something or something.
I think you know what you're in for when you pick it up. If it's not your thing, I think it is what it is. Unfortunately,
it's a beautiful game, man. I love the art
surprised,
style.
yeah. Surprised how good it looked because in screenshots I was like, that's an interesting look. It looks the way that I've heard it described, kind of, but then seeing it in motion, it's actually really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been playing some.
But
Crossy
basically,
Road.
For those who don't know, it's like Frogger.
Oh yeah.
It's basically endless Frogger.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. I guess we should have mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a video of it on fishtuxedo.com.
There is. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Crossy Road. I can cross some roads. And also I have been playing what did I play on iPhone? Honestly, I downloaded some free stuff and then immediately deleted them. Like I was curious, like a fool, of SimCity BuildIt.
Oh shit, man! I gotta talk about SimCity BuildIt because I put way too much time into SimCity BuildIt, and it was the worst decision ever. But how much did you play it?
I played it for like 2 hours, and probably total like 2 hours. I was like, so I have to get these girders to make nails, and then sometimes the houses want girders, and sometimes they want nails. Sometimes they want a girder and a log, and sometimes they just want 2 nails. And then I was like, I don't fucking feel like waiting for this. Because I was like sitting at my break at work, and I was like, I'm not going to spend the rest of my break waiting for this nail.
Yeah.
And then I deleted it, because I honestly, I was like looking for that type of game, for sure. Like some kind of city builder, which it is a build-it game. A SimCity BuildIt. And I was, I was looking for something like that, and unfortunately that just was not what I was looking for.
So let me talk about SimCity BuildIt for a second.
Oh boy.
I don't think I've ever played one of those games. It's like Clash of Clans, right? Have you played that game?
For about the same amount of time.
Okay, is it like that? Is that what that is?
It's a little bit more multiplayer-y. Okay,
Clash of Clans is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more like unit building and stuff, but nothing too extreme. But it is the same principle.
Yeah, I've heard this genre described as like the crafting genre or something, where you're like building stuff and waiting for it to build so you can build other stuff and expand and whatever.
Yeah.
But I put way too much time into this game, and like it kind of took over my free time in a really destructive way, because I always felt like I had to check it, and I always felt like I need to go back to that to see what stage this item's at, so I can put it into this other thing to build another thing. And I mean, I'm sure that's the crux of all those games, and it's real shitty. Like, and I don't know how much actual play time I put in. An embarrassing amount, probably like 20 hours or 25 hours actual game time. And that's, of course, outside of that, how much time I spent just like thinking about it. It's like double, triple that. And it was just this like minor level of stress at the base of my brain all the time because of that game. And I'm sure not everybody's like that, but it wasn't a good game for me. But it got to the point where like I didn't realize I was stressing over it all the time. Yeah. And when I realized it, I was like, I gotta be done with this. So
I think they're also... but they're also like designed to be that way, kind of just far enough away that you think about it or you reach for it. And it's designed that way because you could just give them a couple couple bucks. And
thankfully, I never paid for a single thing. But I still lost a lot in time and just like brain capacity that game took up. But man, it's a beautiful game. It runs super well. Like I think it looks. You played that PC SimCity a couple of years back. Like I feel like it's
similar,
kind of on par visually.
Yeah. I was actually really surprised by it. It was crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess if you can approach those games with a more casual bent and not it doesn't make you think about it all the time, maybe those kind of games are okay for you. But man, I don't think I'll be going back to any of those games anytime soon, because like especially the problem with that game is the further you get, the more things you have to keep track of, and the more complicated it gets, and it's just like it gets less and less fun to play, even though you're getting this bigger city. It's like more complex, and I don't know, it's a weird design choice, but I guess it works. I mean,
and it's just not a good SimCity game, and it's
it's not a SimCity game. I mean, you are setting a layout of a city, and you are having to
kind of thing.
Yeah, I never played that either. I guess that's the sort of origin point for all these things, right?
That is like the godfather of these games. It is essentially this game is basically Farmville, where you kind of just set something, walk away, come back, and your crops are done, and now you can feed your cow the two pieces of corn that it needed to get milk, and then your milk goes to some the same principle. And it's funny, I don't play a lot of these games. I've used to play. I enjoyed the Nimblebit ones like Tiny Tower and Pocket Planes and Pocket Trains.
Yeah, I played quite a bit of. I guess the only other game like this I've played a fair bit of is Disco Zoo.
Oh, yep, Zoo.
That's a Nimblebit one too, and that felt less devious in some weird way. I don't know why.
Well, that was like a match 3, right?
No. It's the very same sort of game. Like you're like collecting these animals, and you have to get certain animals to level up your Disco Zoo. But it was way less complex, I guess. I guess that's probably why you weren't you didn't have to like keep track of. Like I think by the end of my time with SimCity BuildIt, there were literally like 36 different resources that I had to be like managing at any given time. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. That was kind of my big problem with it, and that's why I ultimately deleted it within 2 hours, is because the first thing, it just introduces these things to you and doesn't really present them in a very cohesive way. Like, it doesn't really explain it. It's just like, you just kind of have to come to yourself and be like, okay, well, it never told me that you know, this resource was required to make nails, and then nails are required for certain upgrades for buildings. And then I was like, I figured it out, obviously, because it's not that difficult, but it is one of those things where I was like, oh, it's this, you know? And then as soon as I realized it, I was like, nah, I'm done. But it's funny because my parents play they play the Family Guy game, the Quest for Stuff.
Okay.
It's basically The Simpsons tapped out with a Family Guy skin.
Right.
And they play the shit out of that, or my stepmom does at the very least, and she's like, oh, look, I almost got Santa Claus or something. You know, just something that sounds real dumb. Like, it sounds real, like, I mean, it is like one of those just like, oh, you just open up your phone, you poke at it, and then your checkbox goes off, and you have a little guy walking around your town, and when you poke him, he says funny things. And I guess that is, in a way, that is way, as dumb as that game sounds to describe at all, that is way better of a payoff than SimCity BuildIt, where you can't, no matter how many times you poke a building, it doesn't say a funny little quip. You know, you don't get, Santa Claus doesn't walk around, or, you know, or whoever. So I guess I think that's why some of those games are more successful than others, because that game seems to have at least a very small payoff, whereas SimCity BuildIt just doesn't.
Yeah, some personality at least or something.
Yeah.
On the like city simulation tip though, let's get off the disappointing SimCity entries as of late. I saw this video, this designer doc for this game. I'll put a link in the show notes because I think I got the name wrong, but it's like something like Cities Skylines or something. Are you aware of this game?
Is it XL? Cities XL?
No, it's like this all new thing. I think it's coming out of Paradox. Like they do a lot of simulation stuff. And this is like the first entry. It's not like a current series or anything. And there was a design doc that I saw like a few days ago or something, and it looks like they're trying to do SimCity. Like, I guess like I'm not super aware of Cities XL. I always wanted to check it out, but I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. But this
Seems
looked
very
really right. But this looked really cool. It's like a fairly small team, like 15 people or something, and they're like taking community feedback and like building features in and stuff like that. It looks really cool. Definitely, I mean, you'll see the footage back here. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because I think some of that footage really kind of like will be intriguing and make you take a second look. But it looks like a really cool thing, and I would like a cool city builder to come out. So I think that's slated for like later this year or something. So
that sounds cool. Because I mean, I played the SimCity game from a year or two ago, and that was so horribly disappointing. I could use a good game like that, and SimCity BuildIt is not that game. But cool. Well, I will look in the show notes as well to find out what the game is later, because it sounds cool. Just hopping off of real quick, what else I've been playing? Because we're still doing that. I have played a bunch of Far Cry 4. That is a fun game. Have you played it yet?
I mean, I played the first 45 minutes. That's in the first episode on the channel. Then I played 2 subsequent episodes worth of that game, and it all crashed out real crazy. And I haven't been back to it since. Been waiting on a patch. And like I was checking the updates page like multiple times a week until the past couple weeks. So maybe there has been a patch or something. I don't know.
Well,
you've been on PC there with your brand spanking new rig?
Hell yeah, I've been playing it on the PC, and it looks great. It plays really well. I have to admit, when I first turned it on, I had no desire to play. I played it for about 2 hours, and I was like, I just don't want to do this. And honestly, it was kind of a slog. I kind of forced myself to play it, and I think it's because I loved Far Cry 3 so much, and it's so fresh still. It's only been a year, and I started playing this, and I just wasn't interested for whatever reason. I get like 5-6 hours in, and I'm like, oh my god, this game is fucking great. Like, I just want to keep playing it. Like, it's so much fun. And I haven't played a whole bunch of it, because I just haven't, unfortunately, had a whole ton of time. But, like, all the Outpost stuff, still just as fun as it was in Far Cry 3. And I share the same sentiment with, I think, everybody else I've heard talk about this is that this game is very good. It is really good, and it follows this formula really well, but they could not do this next year. This is not a thing that they could get away with next year, which is, I think, is kind of indicative of their survey that was like, yo, y'all like vampires? What about, what about aliens? Or, you know what I mean? Or whatever they were asking about.
I think dinosaurs were mentioned.
Yeah, dinosaurs. See, that sounds fucking cool. That sounds awesome. Like Far Cry Turok? Oh, man. That sounds great. But just to round off the whole Far Cry thing, it's very good. I like it. It's fun. It's fun to shoot things. I'm a stealthy guy in those games. I like to, from a distance, zoom in with your camera and spot everybody, and then go in with a, snipe a couple dudes, go in with a pistol and a bow and arrow and whack everybody. I will have I just actually finished recording today a video called Outpost Master, where I go on and I do a community outpost, because that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing. You can create your own outposts with a map editor. Yeah. And there is a whole ranking system, and I just did the first one, and I was like, well, let's give this a shot. And so I'm gonna try to make that into a small into a series, because I think that's cool, and I really that's my favorite part of those games, the outposts. I could give a fuck about the story. I know some people made a big deal about the Far Cry 3 story sucking and this one being better. I still could not care less. I like the villains, because I think they're interesting and very well acted. But other than that, I just do not care. And it's all about the outposts for me. Anyway, but yeah, that's a long way to say this is a good game, and I'll have a video about it soon. So
cool.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing.
Awesome. So on my stuff here, I'll mention Dreamfall chapters, because that game starts out real slow. In fact, episode 2, I think, was nothing but me sitting on a couch, my character listening to her psychologist or something. A little slow start there, but it's really kind of opening up at this point in Europolis, the main hub city of Stark, the future city stuff. There's some really awesome characters in that game, man. Some real saucy lady in that game, real shit talking, real rough, the stuff coming out of her mouth is worse than almost any other character I've seen in any other game before. Yeah. Just the dialogue, it's real raw. And
is this just to interject? Is this what I listened to the Giant Bombcast? Is this where they were talking about a real foul woman?
Yep,
who was just very mean to a robot or something?
Yep, Shitbot.
Shitbot. That's what it was. Yep. I watched the first episode of this Let's Play so far. I haven't watched the other ones, but that's
Shitbot
cool.
shows up,
awesome,
and he's a real pitiful character.
Yeah,
and but yeah, there's just the writing to those characters feels genuine and well penned in a way that the AAA fare is real produced. It's the designed by committee versus someone sat down and wrote an awesome thing sort of thing feel. So that game seems to be picking up, and I really love the atmosphere. It's a cool thing. So check it out if that sounds interesting. Other than that, the only other real new thing I have is on the old new iPad there. Been playing some Hearthstone, man.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear about it.
This is my first experience with any CCG collectible card game ever. I always thought that stuff sounded real lame. Didn't want to jump in and sort of learn any systems. I don't know, just no interest really. Yeah. But funnily enough, what got me into it was Jeff Green. Are you aware of Jeff Green?
I've heard his name.
I think I brought him up on a previous episode of this Casual Wednesdays, but he used to be the editor-in-chief of CGW and Games for Windows magazine and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he's been all over the games press, and he's a pretty big name. But he has this series that he does on Twitch where he plays Dark Souls, and he really sucks at it.
Oh, I think that's what you've mentioned. I think that's what you've mentioned in the past.
But he recently finished the main run of Dark Souls 2, so he was like, I should stream something different for a little bit before I get into the DLC. And he just threw up some Hearthstone streams, and I was like, you know what? That looks like it could be a nice iPad, sit back in bed, play sort of deal. It's been on computer. You can play it on computer. I could have played this anytime. But I don't know. iPad felt like a place that I would be interested in playing it. And I just fired it up today, actually, for the first time. Because I had some weird issues. I had to talk to Blizzard support. It was really kind of a nightmare. Blizzard needs to get their stuff together but on the account side. But yeah, I fired it up today, and I managed to play like 3 hours today so far. There's a nice tutorial system. It's really easy to jump into. The production values, as you would expect from a Blizzard product, are just like everything you could want. It's a cool thing. And tutorials got me through, helped me learn the systems, and it's not too complicated, and it's really strategic. And like I assume many, like all those collectible card games are, it's a cool thing, man. If anyone who has kind of been scared off or not felt interested in collectible card game stuff before, this seems like a perfect place to jump in. It's been a ton of fun.
This is coming to iPhone soon, right?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. Or is it never coming to iPhone? I think it's like a form factor thing. Like,
no, totally. I think it would be difficult.
Yeah, so... Sure. But you can play it for free. I mean, it's free everywhere.
Yeah, because I would like to play it on like my 6 Plus. But I don't know if I'd want to sit down. Yeah, and this is actually a problem I've run into with my 6 Plus is I'm like, why am I not given the option to just fucking play FTL on here? You know, I would buy this game if I could play. You know, you can play it on an iPad Mini. Yeah. And the 6 Plus is like the real estate of your 6 Plus is the amount of space that you would be able to watch like a 16:9 film on a Mini. You know, just without the bezel, basically, or the black bars. So I'm like, I really wish I could play FTL. And same thing with Hearthstone. You know, I like so many people are so into it, and now, especially, you know, if you're gonna sit here and tell me that this is something that is worth my time, then absolutely. It's a
surprisingly cool thing. Like it's I'm not usually one to want games that I can sit down and play 10-15 minutes of. I'm a guy who likes to sit down and like I can't do super long stretches, but I don't like Crossy Road. It's not for me. I don't ever really want a game where I can jump in and just do a minute and a half or something. Like that's not. If I have that kind of time, I'm not looking for games. I'm looking at Twitter or I'm reading news or doing something else. But this is a nice 10-15 minute per match deal, and I don't know. It's just super fun. Like. The effects are awesome, like the impacts, like the cards hitting other cards and tiles and like powers and stuff. It's just the package around it elevates the thing, but the core strategy is a ton of fun too.
Cool.
So yeah,
check it out. I might have to give it a shot.
Yeah. And I think that's it for what I've been playing. Yeah.
Oh man.
News.
You
want to talk about news?
Let's kick it. Let's do it.
All right. These are for you, man, mostly. Nintendo held their... I mean, it's not a regular thing. It's just a Nintendo Direct. Whenever they feel like it, whenever they got things to say, they hold them. And the last one, they announced finally the new 3DS that's been in Japan for a few months now is coming to the US.
Specifically the new 3DS XL.
Right. Only comes in the XL size. Some people are a little upset about that. But, yeah, that's cool. You got a second nub on there, not quite a stick. You got a C-stick,
similar to the ones that similar to the one that was on the GameCube controller, but it's a little closer to your laptop nipple.
Nubbin, like those ThinkPads.
On like Lenovo's, yeah, for sure. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I mean, it slightly updated hardware. We've talked about this before, I think. You probably know what it is. So, yeah, that is cool. For about 5 minutes, I thought I should probably finally get a 3DS, but I still don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah. What about you? Do you currently have a 3DS?
Yeah, I have a 3DS XL. It is, and I tweeted about it the other day. Like the new Fire Emblem and the new game Codename Steam are really the only reasons why I haven't gotten rid of it. Because that machine was made to play, at just like all portable Japanese machines are made to play strategy games, like turn-based strategy games, and Japanese role-playing games. Those are the two genres that those things are designed for, and those are two genres that I really like. So yeah, I've played the Fire Emblem Awakening, and holy shit, that is a great game. And I've played some of Bravely Default, but that's a whatever. it's a JRPG.
Not into it. That's
It's
too
alright.
JRPG for you.
It's just like, I don't know. I think I'm over the whole JRPG with no like good systems but no real story substance kind of thing. I think I'm over that. Unless it's something like Disgaea or something, those turn-based strategy games. I can play the shit out of those, but I like Intelligent Systems makes all their games on a 3DS. That's what it comes down to, and they are the strategy role playing.
Wars?
Yep. Those guys, and
where's the new Advanced Wars, man?
It's Fire Emblem. That's what it is. That's where
is that basically the same gameplay?
It is a turn-based strategy game, but with role-playing elements. Kind of like it is the Persona 4 or the Persona in general of strategy games. There's like kind of JRPG-ish mechanics, like like conversation mechanics, and really actually genuinely interesting characters and stuff like that. Because that's what's interesting. The story is garbage, but the characters are also interesting, and they all will date each other or whatever, and when they die, they're dead for good. So it adds that level of permanence that I really like in my games. And then on top of that, just put the Intelligence Systems logo on it, and I'm like, well, I'm in. Okay, they're not making Advance Wars, so what is this? And it was very good, and it basically revived the franchise, because that was actually meant to be the last game in the series, if it didn't do well. And it did very well, because it was a really good game. And Codename Steam is their next thing. Codename Steam, have we talked about this?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've seen very little of the game. Except I watched the Nintendo Direct, so I saw the trailer that was in that and stuff. Yeah. It's like Abraham Lincoln and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's great about it. It's basically Valkyria Chronicles mixed with XCOM.
Right.
But there's a lion named Lion, and he's on your team.
I think we have talked about this. Yeah. No.
I think we have because it's Lincoln versus aliens. And in Japanese, it's Rinken Basasu Aryan. Which is fucking great. Yep. Rinken Basasu Aryan. Anyway. Yeah, but those are the two reasons why I'm excited for the future of 3DS. So it's cool. I mean, I have one already, so I don't think I would double dip.
Right. It's not worth the slightly millisecond better load times or whatever.
And it's... I mean, the 3D tracking is better and stuff like that, and that's cool.
That would probably be nice. Yeah.
It's not worth an extra $200 for me.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, if this is like your entry, then maybe. But if you are a current 3DS XL owner, I don't see the value.
Right. Other Nintendo news, Nintendo's loyalty club thing, Club Nintendo, is shutting down. I don't know. I don't care about that, but a lot of people seem to be upset.
Well, it's because I am a Club Nintendo person.
Yeah.
I am hashtag I am Club Nintendo. Person.
Is that real? Is that a real thing?
No, it is not. No. I'm starting it though. No, it's cool.
Now that they're closing down, you're starting the hashtag.
Yeah, I got to put on my Guy Fawkes mask and.
Man, let's get anonymous on this thing. This really is important stuff here.
Shut them down. Well, Club Nintendo is cool. It's better in other countries and other territories than it is in the United States. But it is basically you buy games or consoles that are Nintendo made, and it comes with a code. You put it on their website, and you get a certain amount of points for redeeming that code. And then you can do a little survey, that's like, how'd you hear about us? How old are you? How big are your boobs? It's a weird survey. Anyway, but it's, so you do all this stuff, and then you get points, and then based on how many points you get, it determines whether or not you are a platinum or, gold or silver or whatever. And then that determines what kind of prize or what kind of...
like a Mario mug or something?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is that it determines what kind of reward that you're eligible for, once this time runs out. And then in the United States, historically, it's been like, yo, you all like Legend of Zelda posters? Which I got, But
They're like, of course we do. We are Club Nintendo members.
But I mean, it's like, you know, I don't have very much use for it. They look very nice. They're really high quality, but it's like, but also I got a what was it? I got a little 3DS XL dock that I could just that was really cool. That was really nice.
I mean, it's free. Free's free, man. It's a cool thing that they had that. I mean, if they're going to give their fans cool free stuff for buying their stuff, that seems like a cool thing.
It's a program that doesn't exist on with any other publisher, as far as I know. And so, in that respect, it's really cool. But at the same time, it's like in the United States, it was kind of shitty compared to like in Europe. They would get like cool figurines or whatever. And the United States are like, "Yo, y'all like pictures?" And I'm like, like, hey, you guys want to play, you know, Donkey Kong, like the arcade one? And I'm like, not really. It's because we got it for you for Wii U Virtual Console because you're platinum. And I'm like, Anyway, no, it's a bummer that's going away. But they did say that it's being replaced with something else. So
I did see that. Yeah.
So maybe they're just unifying this.
Did they talk about it at all? I didn't really read into it too much. I imagine it must be.
I feel like if they just rebranded it and said like it's the Nintendo loyalty program, and it was just every country just kind of, you know, every territory kind of fed into the same place. And it probably has something to do with the fact that Nintendo is horrible at managing accounts with anything. So, you know, if they could just plug that into your Wii U and 3DS account, and then the Wii U 2 or whatever account,
right?
And then instead of saying, "Hey, you want a poster?" they just say, "Look, this is a program that basically, if you're cool, we give you free virtual console games because that costs them nothing."
Right, go all digital with it. Yeah, it's funny to think about, like, Nintendo's infrastructure is so bad on that account stuff. It's funny to think that maybe they're paying, like, hundreds of millions of dollars, like, just with, like, manpower of people just, like, trying to organize all that information and, like, get stuff out to people. And
seriously. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But, no, they're replacing it with something else, so it'll be interesting to see where they're actually going with it, because I don't know. But, yeah. And well, we're running a little long here, so But there is one other news thing that I just remembered that I think is noteworthy, at least to me. I want to bring this up.
Let's hear it.
Well, I don't know if in a couple years ago I really enjoyed playing this game called Rock Band, and it was a cool thing. It was it seems really antiquated now. You picked up a plastic instrument. Yeah, it's like, you know, like what a rock band is, right? It's like people play instruments.
You mean like guys with like long hair and stuff?
Yeah, like that. Well, this was a game where you pretended to be like that, and you pushed buttons on a fake plastic guitar. It made you look super dumb, but it was a lot of fun when you got together with your friends. It sounds dumb, I know, it does, but it was fun. And then along with Tony Hawk skateboarded away with all the cool plastic instruments, and then that's all she said. But no, anyway, obviously that was a funny goof that we just did there. It was a hilarious sketch. But
we love plastic instruments.
I fucking love plastic instruments. They're some of my favorite instruments.
Yep.
Well, I love Rock Band, and I still occasionally go back and play Rock Band and Guitar Hero and whatever, because it's a fun thing I like to do. And Harmonix has acknowledged that it still exists by, first of all, releasing a couple new songs on the Rock Band network after not doing it for 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
But it was just 3 songs that I'm not interested in the slightest. But an interesting thing that came from that was that there was also a survey, and you know, when people asking for surveys, that this shit is...
They want to know how big your boobs are.
They love boobs, and they want to know the exact size.
Yeah.
But there's a survey about, do you like Rock Band? How many consoles do you have? What is this? What is, and they ask all these cool questions, and I answered all of them with 100% honesty, because I want this to be the perfect Rock Band game. I want Rock Band 4 to come out. I want to play it. I want it so bad on the new consoles. I will completely buy all of the instruments again to play this game.
I probably would too, man.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like a real sweet package, like just like the best package surrounding all that stuff that they've ever made, and it was just like a real sweet, like slick thing, I would totally buy all that stuff.
Absolutely. I love Rock Band. I mean, as you know, I'm a really big fan of rhythm games in general. I love rhythm games, and then Rock Band was just the pinnacle of that stuff. It's just so much fun, and it was so much, and it on top of that, like Guitar Hero was a lot of fun, but on top of that, they took Rock Band and said, hey, this is fun, but like, why don't you get a bunch of your idiot friends and have them do it too? And it's like, that was the most fun. So the idea of being able to do that again, now that I'm able to legally drink, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I would absolutely double dip and lug my PlayStation around. And yeah, so...
Man, yeah, that sounds really exciting. Yeah, I want that too.
Yeah,
I
have a feeling
probably do that survey.
Yeah, I think everybody...
Show some support.
Absolutely. I think everybody who would like be interested in buying Rock Band 4 or whatever Rock Band should do that survey just because. And I think they'll probably end up doing like the Dance Central Spotlight thing with it, which
like kind of watering it down sort of deal.
Yeah, kind of like, here's a service, download this app, you get 2 songs or whatever, buy the instruments, and then you can rent the songs or buy the songs a la carte. I would personally rather just pay $60, get a cool disc package with a bunch of songs. Yeah, I think I like that. I like that more than I never really... I did buy a few songs with like Rock Band 1 and 2. I never actually played Rock Band 3, believe it or not, but it's only because I could never find the version with the Pro keyboard. And I really wanted the Pro key. Yeah, I wanted that Pro keyboard so bad, and I couldn't find it anywhere because by the time I was done playing the like Rock Band Beatles and stuff, it was like nobody gave a fuck about them. They didn't want them anymore. They So I couldn't find it anywhere.
Enough, Rock Band 3 is the one I skipped too. Similarly to your situation, I was at a point where I was like, I really need to buy this Ion drum kit.
Yeah,
that was the like super high end drum kit. I think it was like $400 or $500 or something. But like I'm a drummer going way back. Like with those music stuff. Like I lived in Japan for a long time. Like they have a series called Drum Mania over there in the arcades. Yeah. I mean, I easily put like, I don't know how much, $400 or $500 over those years playing that game. Like huge on the drum stuff, and I almost went for that crazy high end drum kit. But man, I want to do that again. I want to play that stuff again.
Oh man, I really honestly, as much I love the first couple Tony Hawk games and stuff like that, and I really like World War II shooters, and I like a lot of stuff that they don't make anymore. But this is it. This is what I want. I want Rock Band. I want them to make a new one. I will pay the $250 or whatever to get all those stupid instruments again, and I will throw away the old ones. Or I'll keep the old ones just in case I want to play the old games. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. So that's a long-winded way of saying make Rock Band 4, and you will have at least one person buy it, probably 2.
That's probably enough. That's probably all they need, right?
Yeah, it would justify their costs for sure.
All right. I'm going to go fill out that survey. All of you watching this should probably go fill out that survey too. And that's going to do it for us this week. Hopefully we'll be back in a couple weeks here. We'll make that happen. We have the power.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a new year.
2 weeks from now.
New year, new schedule, new me.
That's right.
New fish.
All right. Like this thing. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next week. Later.
See ya.